Today we are going to be talking about things with Princess, with MSC, with Carnival, and we have a brand new cruise port coming online being dedicated that really is opening the world for us on places that we can go on a cruise ship. So lots to talk about here today. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today really is November 22nd of 2023. Yesterday I accidentally got the date wrong. Gordon put it on the screen as I was saying it that yesterday was the 21st, but today really is the 22nd. So first of all, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please go ahead and hit that subscribe button? We'd love to have you with us, and I think you're going to be happy to be here with us and enjoy being part of our amazing community. Also, if you appreciate our updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up, because it really does help us out. I wanted to let you know that over on there's a link underneath this video if you would like to get any of the fabulous Let's Go Travel Tips apparel. Our daughter-in-law set it up so that we have a Black Friday sale. This is a sweatshirt that I just got not too long ago. It says Let's Go Travel Tips and it has our name. It's really not very flashy at all. We have lots of different things to choose from. I chose this color because I wanted to know what the light blue looks like. I would say that the sizing is generous. I bought an extra large because I like cozy sweatshirts, but I could have done okay with a large. In my regular clothing, I usually buy a medium. Some things are a large, but that gives you an idea on sizing. So if you're interested at all, just thought I would tell you. Now let's start off talking about the Princess app. So we have been receiving updates here. We know that Princess has told their travel advisors that December 1st we'll be getting a new app. Now I finally got mine to work on my phone. Mine's working a little bit different than Gordon's is, but a couple of things to note. First of all, when you go in your profile, it is supposed to have under your name there up at the top, it is supposed to have your loyalty level. On Gordon's it says platinum, which is accurate for him, and mine should say elite, and it says off ship. There is no level of loyalty showing up on the app for me, and so I think I'm probably not the only one in that situation. So I'm wondering if this is either a glitch with the new update, or if this is just because we've got that new app coming and things are being changed a little bit in the background. Another thing to note is, as someone mentioned in our comments yesterday, she's leaving on the Caribbean Princess this weekend. Whenever she tries to use the app, it takes her to a web page. So for our sailing that is going to be on February 8th on the new Sun Princess, so excited for that inaugural. Two things I noticed when we try to look at the excursions, it just takes us right into the cruise planner. It doesn't do it the way it usually does for booking an excursion when you're on a ship, because we have done that before. Another thing that I noticed is if you go to try to make dining reservations, on my app it says please check back closer to your sail date. Gordon says check back closer to your journey date, and I cannot make any dining reservations. I have never been able to make any dining reservations because I've been trying for a while, because it's a new ship and I want to try so many different places so that I can tell you about it, both included options as well as options that cost extra, just so you have an idea of what to expect. So I am really hoping that when they roll out that new app, we'll be able to make dining reservations. I'll keep you posted, and will you all let me know what you are seeing on your app, because that kind of helps us all know what's going on. And okay, that's everything about the app. The next thing I think is really important to know is down in Durban, South Africa, the president of South Africa is dedicating a whole new cruise terminal, and it is opening up, to me, it's opening up the world as another location that it will be easier for us to go on a cruise ship. Yes, cruise ships have called in South Africa before, but this is an amazing new cruise terminal that will be able to handle more ships and more passengers. Interestingly enough, as I have a lot of news for you today from MSC. MSC partnered with South Africa there, gave a lot of the money to develop that terminal. Now, you have heard me say before that I am anxious to try MSC. And indeed I am, because they cruise to so many places in the world that a lot of other cruise lines don't sail to. And so lots of options going on there. And so that's on my list to try in 2024, is to try to do that. But I love that from the press report about this, it says, oh, and I should tell you, it is called the Nelson Mandela Cruise Terminal. I love that they are honoring him with that name. It says the Nelson Mandela Cruise Terminal will elevate Durban as a premier destination for cruise ships worldwide and serve as a symbol of MSC's dedication to that whole region there of the world. Because so often the places that cruise lines call are not only an amazing place for the passengers on that cruise ship to be able to visit, as well as the crew, but also it's a real economic boon to the region there. And so it sounds like hopefully this will be a really good thing for the people who live there as well. As a side note, I just thought of this. On the Island Princess, the last 2 cruises we were on in July and then again in October. Both times I went to the spa, got my hair done, and the gentleman who did it, I asked for him again when I was on in October because he did such an excellent job in July. He is from South Africa, and it's really interesting to talk with him both times about how things are changing with living conditions there in South Africa. They for example, they don't even have electricity all of the time. The government will let them know when there is going to be a time that where they live there is no electricity available, like hours of the day, things like this, and then they won't stick to it. So the blackouts will be longer at different times than they expect. But so anyway, when I think of being a boon to that region, I think of this gentleman. And interestingly enough, here's another fun side note, he is going to be the one that is on the Sun Princess a little bit early to help set up that whole the spa area and get all the products set up and everything to do with that. So I'm going to go find him again when I'm on the Sun Princess. So if you don't know who to ask for Mervin. Okay, if you go on the Sun Princess and you would like a great job done on your hair, ask for Mervin. Anyway, next thing that we're going to talk about is we have a Let's Go family member who is on the MSC Seaside right now. It's on a cruise there in the Caribbean, and a couple of updates that I think are very much worth mentioning. First of all, he said that they're on a back-to-back. Well, not a back-to-back. They're on a cruise, but it has different spots and stops. And the reason that I thought of it as a back-to-back is the very first part of the cruise. The first portion is very much undersold, so there are not a lot of passengers on board. They're having a wonderful time just with all of that extra space. Think back to right after the restart when the ships weren't crowded. It was kind of nice. It's great that they're full now, but it's kind of nice when they're not so crowded. Anyway, they are going to dock in St. Martin. I think it's today. It was either today or yesterday, but the onboard count of passengers and crew is going to more than double. They are going to have 3,000 people join the ship between the new crew members as some crew members' contracts end and then others come on board, as well as all of the passengers who are going to join from that port. So I thought that was really interesting that there is so much difference and that it happens there in St. Martin. Very interesting. Also, a note to all of you, they had to divert so that they could let a passenger off for a medical evacuation, and that has changed their itinerary a little bit. And he was very kind to send me the change to the itinerary, plus let me know that the passenger who had to be medically evacuated, unfortunately, was having a miscarriage and there were complications with it to the point that she had to get off the ship and have extra medical care. So along with keeping her and her family in our prayers, which definitely Gordon and I are doing, and I know that many of you will as well, I also cannot miss the chances that Let's Go family member put in their message to me as well. What a wonderful reminder that no matter how old we are, really unexpected things can happen, and it's really important to have insurance because you never know what's going to happen. With this passenger, they had to get off the ship. They'll be having medical care there, and then they're going to have to make their way back to the United States. And so there's just all of these things that come up that none of us anticipate, but that insurance really helps with if something unexpected happens. So I wanted to tell you that. And so here we're going to insert the clips so that you can hear the captain's voice. It's just about a minute long, and then I'll be back to tell you the rest of the story.
And this is Captain speaking from the bridge. As you know, yesterday afternoon we had to deviate from our course for a few hours to enable the disembarkation of a guest who required urgent medical attention. As mariners, we proudly embrace our duty to render assistance to persons in distress at the sea and to always care for the well-being of every guest on board. Following yesterday's successful medical evacuation, which we coordinate with the U.S. Coast Guard, we are now sailing toward Philipsburg, our next port of call, at full speed. While the northeasterly wind and swell are having an impact on our cruise speed, we currently expect to reach Philipsburg around 1800 tomorrow, Thanksgiving Days on 23rd. We will remain at port until 0200 of November 24 to give you plenty of time to enjoy the beautiful destination. You can find our adjusted itinerary as soon as possible. Guests who booked Msc excursion for Philipsburg will receive a full refund on their onboard account. Do not hesitate to visit our shore excursion staff and during opening hours advised on the daily program about alternative options of tours still available for you. Fabulous port of Antigua in November 24. Please note that this situation is due to reasons that are behind our control. Our priority is to always ensure your comfort, safety, and well-being. I appreciate your understanding. Thank you very much and enjoy your stay with us.
Alrighty, so now that you've listened to that really quickly, the updates, today is a sea day, that November 22nd, then they are going to call there in Philipsburg on St. Martin, and so they're going to be, instead of being there from 8 in the morning till 7 at night, they're not going to get there until 6 p.m., but I love that they're not going to leave until 2 a.m. Now, in a port, I wouldn't stay out until 2 a.m., but it gives you time to get off the ship, do some sightseeing, see what you'd like to see, maybe have a nice dinner in port, if you'd like to try some of the local cuisine, see everything that you want and get on board, and then also it'll give time for everything else that the ship needs to do in that port. And then in St. John, they were going to be in port from 8 in the morning until 7 p.m. and they have changed it, so they are going to be in port from 8 in the morning until 6 p.m. And then in the port of Fort de France, they were supposed to be there from 7 in the morning until 11 p.m. Now they won't get there until 7:30 in the morning, but they'll still be there until 11 p.m. So I thought I would just share that with you to give you an idea of how things sometimes get changed when they have to divert to make allow a passenger to be medically evacuated. And I know that they do their best to have it impact the cruise ports and everything a little bit less than usual. So, and by the way, so today was not expected to be a sea day, but they got a sea day, so a little bit more time to relax and enjoy the sunshine. Another update from MSC, they have just, so MSC has their Ocean Key, and they are very well known for that. They've got a beautiful lighthouse that they do shows with, but they are also very well known for their how environmentally conscientious they are and everything that they do to support the marine environment there and to not disturb anything. They really go out of the way with their crew and with what they allow passengers to do and the experiences that they have for their passengers. I am actually really excited to see Ocean Key when we get to go, but they have announced, MSC has, that they are even expanding what they're doing there on the island, and they are really going to offer an experience that is unparalleled on these private islands that the cruise ships run. So many of them, which you can also do on Ocean Key, is focused on like using the beach and snorkeling and enjoying that whole thing of being on a private island. So a couple of things. Today, on Monday, sorry, not today, Monday, they signed an agreement there in Bimini's, Bahamas, so that they are going to have a company help them do enhancements to their ocean key to make it an even better destination for the guest experience there. But they are also going to make it so that they have more crew members on the island there. They're going to have, right now they have a staff of 150. They're going to go to 280 to be able to run the programs that they're going to do. They have MSC's foundation, the Marine Conservation Center, is going to be built as a base, if you can believe it or not, for marine biologists and for people that explore, well, what marine biologists explore as well. They're talking about coral reef experts coming as well as students. They're going to have a graduate student program there. They're going to have it built so that people have more access to, in that conservation center, they're going to have more access so that they'll run lectures there. They will have educational opportunities that not only people like the marine biologists and the graduate students visiting that area, but also the cruise passengers can enjoy. They are also going to beef up their Super Coral Foundation program, which they are studying like all of the effects on coral there with some species that become extinct, and to make sure that they protect everything. It just sounds like they're going above and beyond. They talk about that light show continuing on. I think it would be wonderful to be able to get to do an overnight or a late night stay there so that you can see that. And then finally, they're going to install a third solar farm because they're really committed to zero emissions. So they'll be carbon emissions, that would come from burning fossil fuels there. So they are going to add that third solar farm to be able to support everything that they're wanting to do on the island there. So that just kind of brings you up to date with what's going on in Ocean Key, and let me know in the comments below if MSC is on your radar. I know we talk about Princess here a lot. We're going to talk about Carnival in a minute. I enjoyed Norwegian. We've got Royal Caribbean and Viking coming up, but MSC is a huge player in cruises to places in the world. They're a huge player, becoming a larger and larger player here in the US, so I think it's worth giving them a try. I think that we would probably leave on the table some wonderful experiences if we didn't give them a try. Alrighty, and then the last thing I want to talk to you about today, Carnival Panorama. Back on November 15th, it had been a little closer from when Carnival had to cancel those six cruises on the Carnival Panorama there out of Southern California. A lot of people were talking about, why does it have to go clear up to Portland, Oregon to get the dry dock that it needs in order to fix their propulsion problems? We've got an amazing member of our Let's Go family who had posted information over on our Facebook page. I noticed that it is in the news again today. I'm getting emails from other people, so I'm going to let you know a little bit about that. So when you think about the western coast of the United States, and you think about Los Angeles and San Diego and San Francisco and Seattle, you wonder, and I did, why they couldn't take the Carnival Panorama to one of those places rather than taking it clear to Portland, Oregon, which includes it having to go down the Columbia River. Well, come to find out that in San Diego, they have a shipyard and a dry dock area, but most of it is contracted out with government contracts for Navy vessels, and they do work on some others, but that is not an option. They don't have the space and the time to fit that in. Los Angeles and San Francisco and Seattle do not have the shipyard with a dry dock in order to accommodate a cruise ship for the repair that they need. The really interesting thing is, and this tells you how bad those propulsion problems are on the Carnival Panorama, is that once they turn from the ocean into the Columbia River, there are bridges that they do not have the clearance to accommodate for the Carnival Panorama's whale tail, the whale tail there on the back. And so they actually have to stop in Astoria, Maine, get that whale tail taken off that funnel, and then she will proceed Portland, Oregon, get everything fixed up. Then they have to come back so that she can go under those bridges. Then she'll come back to Astoria, have that whale tail put back on, and then she'll proceed back down the coast to run the cruise that she is expected to start running December 23rd. I found all of that very, very interesting. Clearly, it's a large expense for Carnival Corporation, but clearly it's the only way that they can get their propulsion problems fixed. It'll be kind of fun to see. I don't know if they'll have time to make any other changes or do anything else. It'll be fun to hear. I know it's not the dry dock in the same way as let's, you know, switch out furniture, let's fix, you know, things, but it'll just be interesting to me to see if they talk about anything else once they get her back on the water again and sailing passengers. So if you have any questions about anything, put it down in the comments. Let me know if you're on a Thanksgiving cruise this week. We would all like to hear about that, as well as if you're on a cruise ship right now. It really means a lot to me, and I know our whole Let's Go family when you share your updates so that we all have an idea of how things are going and what's going on. Tomorrow for Thanksgiving Day, I am going to do a quick video, so keep your eye out for that, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.